Hey guys, welcome back to Colory Trans. I'm Jason. I'm your Monday guy, and this week's topic is: do we feel as important, heard, valued, and equal to our white trans counterparts? For me, I personally would have to say yes and no, and I'll explain why. I'm gonna say yes, to an extent, because a lot of people mistake me for white, and so with that, at times I'm very privileged. I don't get treated differently compared to how I see my brothers get treated. Um, I get a lot more respect, and at times I'm not tokenized. But to those who know that I'm African American, I do get treated differently. And so then I don't feel as valued, heard, or equal to them. I see a lot of guys on Instagram, and one of the biggest issues that I want to talk about, to me at least, is when it comes to people trying to help get donations for their top surgeries or any type of surgery at all. I see more white trans guys. Um, they like that can just get donations up the ass. But then I see a trans brother of mine, a brother of color, and he's like, hey, like I'm struggling, I need help, blah blah blah, and he gets maybe $20 within like 2 months, and then when it comes to a white trans brother, he's able to raise $1,000 in 2 weeks. To me, it's kind of like, if you guys can help him, why can't you guys help him? You know what I mean? Um, Another thing is that okay, so yesterday night, I was watching a clip, just a quick clip from I Am Kate, which is Caitlyn Jenner's new reality TV show, and so one of her friends was saying how she still has a lot of learning to do, and she doesn't understand that there's a lot more issues that trans women go through than she thinks, and one of that is includes violence and stuff like that, and being homeless, and not being financially stable because they can't get jobs. And so they were saying how she's very privileged because she's never had to deal with that. She comes from money, so she's able-bodied, financially stable. Um, there's a lot of things that benefit for her. And then there's my trans sisters of colors who are constantly being murdered, and the media is not paying them any attention. Their families are struggling. They're getting misgendered in the media and all this and that. And it's like, we're not on the same level as white people. I'm not saying that white people have it easy in any kind of way, because I know that there are guys out there that struggle, and I know guys that have been homeless and financially having trouble and all this and that. So I'm not saying that every white person has it easy, because none of us have it easy at all. But what I'm saying is that we, as trans men, ethnic trans men, men of color, there's a lot of things that we go through, and I see myself as being more privileged than a lot of my other brothers, because a lot of people mistake me for white, and I'm not white at all. It's in my bloodline, but I identify more as African American than I do anything else. Yes, I am Mexican as well, but I identify more as African American. When people ask, what are you, I just say African American, and I leave it at that. Um, when it comes to feeling important, I'd have to say no, not really. I don't really feel like my voice is heard. Uh, when I talk to some guys that aren't of color, and I explain to them, like, oh, this is my issue and all this and that, they're just like, oh yeah, like you'll get there eventually, blah blah blah. Especially if they've had top surgery and all that, and they kind of disregard my feelings and emotions, and they're just like, oh yeah, like you'll get there eventually and stuff like that, like I had help, blah 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 blah. And it's like, oh, okay, well, I don't really have help. That's what I'm getting at. I don't have help, so help me to help myself. um Do I feel equal? Like I said, at times yes, and at times no. For the most part, no. Do I feel valued? Not really. When it comes to my community, I do, because there's a lot of guys that do a lot for our community, especially when it came to Trans Pride. They put together such a huge event, and it was awesome. It was amazing. I'm privileged to be able to be a part of something like that, and to have a Trans Pride in my community and all of that. You know what I mean? But when it comes to, like a group, just a small group of people, would I feel heard, valued, and treated equally? Probably not. Because I noticed that there's cliques, and that's what I don't really like about our community at times, is that the ones who are more privileged and financially stable and all this and that, like they tend to put themselves on a pedestal and treat everyone like, oh, like I'm better than you and all this and that. And that's something that it's a really big issue. Um, there's a lot more that I could say, but I'm starting to lose train of thought, and I don't want to continue this video and have it go off topic and everything. So I'm going to cut it short. But to answer the question, do I feel as important, heard, valued, and equal to my white trans counterparts? No. And yes. But more so, no. um, I'm sorry that this video isn't probably what you thought it was going to be. But this is as much as I can speak on, because this is something that I feel like I have to sit down and actually really think about and write it out, and I didn't really have time to do that. So yeah, so I hope you guys have a great week. Enjoy all the other guys' videos, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks. Bye.